Hello everyone and welcome back to another lesson of the Arabic language. Today's lesson is about Al-Hamza, and this lesson is lesson number 16. So, Al-Hamza, what's the Hamza exactly? Okay, first, this is how it's called. Al-Hamza. This is today's lesson. And what is Al-Hamza? It's this shape. Where did we see this shape before? Actually, when we got to study the Alif, you see this shape? This is called Al-Hamza. So this shape without the stick is called the Hamza. So whenever we're saying Hamza, we mean just this guy, okay? But there's some cases like in grammar when we call that stick Hamza, but that's really complicated. So whenever people say Hamza, most of the times it means this shape. So, what's the sound of this shape? The sound of this shape is exactly like the sound of the Alif. It's A. So basically it can be A, U, E. Okay? So now, it can come on like different ways in a word. So I'm going to list here all the ways with examples. Okay? So sometimes it comes on an Alif, like that. So this is one form, and an example is Asad. Asad. Asad, which means a lion. Another form, sometimes it comes on something we call a nabira, or I usually refer to it as a notch. Okay, sometimes it comes like that. And an example would be this word, bi'r. Bi'r, which means a well, the well that you get water from, you know, the thing from on the ground that you can like have a bucket inside and get water out. That's a bi'r. Okay. Another way is sometimes it's on a ya. This is a ya, and there's a hamza here, or like that. An example would be sayyi. Sayyi. Sayyi, which means bad. So this is the word for bad in Arabic. Sayyi. Okay. Also it can come on a waw. So this is a waw, and you find an hamza like that. And it's not pronounced like a waw, it's a hamza. It's exactly pronounced like a, u, or e. Most of the case, let's say an example here would be lu'lu, lu'lu, which means pearls. Pearls, you know, the thing that's inside the shell in the ocean and wherever. So a pearl, lu'lu. Actually, pearls, it's a plural. Another example is when the hamza is alone on a, like sitting on the line, and one example for that is ma. 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 This is a very important word. It's water. Ma. Okay. So now we've seen all the forms that the hamza can come. One note is that wherever it comes, how to pronounce it, I mean whether it's a, u, or e, depends on alamat al-tashkil more than where it is. Okay, so always try to follow alamat al-tashkil. So let's take for example this word. This is pronounced sa'ala because there's a fatha here. Okay. So it's sa'ala. Also, it's like for example, let's say this one, This word can be written like sometimes it's the same pronunciation of a word. It's written twice because the Hamza rules of dictation. It's a bit complicated. Some people will write it like this, okay, or like this. It's the same word, and the pronunciation for this word is mas'ul. Mas'ul, which means a person in charge. And here the Hamza is stretched by the waw, so mas'ul, same as here, mas'ul. So basically what you follow is this. So you look at the Hamza with alamat tashkil and you pronounce. Don't get scared by where the Hamza is exactly. It's always pronounced like ah. So basically this is all about Al-Hamza. I hope it's clear. I have 4 minutes. Maybe I'll discuss one thing that confuses people. Okay, which is this. This is in general called alif with the Hamza. Okay, so when we say Hamza, we're usually referring to this. A stick alone is also called alif, and sometimes we call it Hamza also. But most of the times, 90%, if we say alif, we mean the stick, whether it's with Hamza or without Hamza, but usually just the stick, and this is called Hamza. That's why some people say, okay, so the Arabic alphabet is not 28 but 29, because they count the stick alone, they call it alif, and they call this Hamza. But the way they taught us in school, that this is just one letter, it's not two, it's one. And the way I see it is because the alif usually alone in the middle of a word has no sound. Like okay, this is not a very good example, but let's say, yeah, so bab, you don't say bab, but you say bab. It's just a stretching for the and there's no like sound. So if I put Hamza here, it's bab. It's hard to pronounce. This is bab. So basically, for me, it's just because you cannot really have a sound for the alif alone. So these guys together, we call them alif. I hope it's not confusing. In general, that's a very fast recap. It's not the subject of this lesson. The most important thing is that this guy is pronounced ah. Wherever it is, if it has dhamma, we say u. If it has kasra, we say i. And if it has fatha, we say ah. So basically, that's the thing. The issue of whether you call it a letter on its own or it's an integrated thing with the alif. This is like a big controversy in the in the society of the Arabic scholars thing. So some people would go and say yes, it's a letter. Sometimes people say no, it's part of the alif. So it doesn't matter anyway. The important thing is you know how to pronounce it. Okay, so that's all for this lesson. I hope I didn't confuse you with the alif and Hamza thing, and that's it. Okay, see you soon.